Hey Soulcon brothers. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Russell Gray. I am a lifelong athlete, a Christian who believes and loves the Lord, and just someone who is very interested in physical activity and maintaining the vessel that our God has given us on this earth. So wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that Soulcon brotherhood and fitness go hand in hand, are very important. A little bit of history. I've known Cody since 2012 now, and when he was a wellness coordinator and a corporate fitness expert, I will say, at Teleflora. He actually was there the day I interviewed and was greeting me when I joined the company. And it was one of those things where meeting Cody right away, I understood that he had a depth of knowledge around fitness that was well beyond his years. Really involved in keeping people healthy and motivating those within the corporate arena to do better for themselves. Also, you could tell that Cody had a great love for the Lord and was, I would say, driven and had a vision from God that he needed to get out of the corporate business and bring Soulcon Ministries to the world so that the men's ministry could really be born and blossom. I had the great privilege of reading the Soulcon Challenge book before it was published, giving Cody some feedback from my standpoint, and was just amazed at what he was able to put together and what the Lord had put on him to allow us men to have a men's ministry that incorporated fitness and allowed us to be manly men, you might say. So just to continue a little bit more about my history, I'll be 55 this August. Hopefully you can see, I'm a firm believer in keeping fit, but I have also dealt with a lot of things in my past. I've had two back surgeries, one in my late 20s, one in my early 30s. I had a L5-S1 laminectomy, where they actually go in and enlarge the hole in the lamina for the nerve. And then my second one was an L3-L4 microdiscectomy, and that one was actually a little bit harder on my body. I damaged the nerve that actually innervated into the left quadricep, and so even to this day, my left quadricep and my right quadricep are not equal in size. I work them out as hard as I can, but I just have a little bit of nerve damage there that doesn't allow it to grow quite the same. In October of last year, I actually underwent what's called a radical prostatectomy for prostate cancer. Again, I feel like I'm pretty young for that, being just turning 55 this year. But it was something that I needed to do. Obviously, God gave it to me as a challenge, and I accepted it. So for the last 6-7 months now, I've been doing tests to make sure that has been eradicated, and thank the Lord it has been. I haven't had any positive tests since then. And just recently, 4 weeks ago, I had a hernia surgery because when I had the prostatectomy, one of the incisions in my belly became weak in the abdominal wall, and when I started working out very heavily again, it ruptured, you might say, a little bit, and got the what's called an incisional hernia. Went back in, had another operation. They tightened that up, obviously, and put some put some Kevlar in there to keep it in place in the future, especially based on my physical activity. A little bit about my physical past. Spent a lot of years out in Colorado, was very active in the mountains. You'll see that I've climbed many of the Colorado 14,000 foot peaks, and I've done a lot of them in the wintertime. I found the winter mountaineering to be a little bit more on the edge, you might say. You had to plan a little bit more for it with the weather concerns and everything, and it pushed your body a little bit harder. But really enjoyed that. I'll show you a picture of that. I've also been involved in triathlons out in Colorado for quite a few years, and biking for years in New Mexico before that. Done everything from sprint triathlons all the way up to Ironman Wisconsin, where Didn't do as well as I wanted, but I still finished in a respectable time of 12 hours and I think 2 minutes. Sort of bonked on the run a little bit on the last part of that, but still pretty good. I was in my 40s when I did that. I've also done a 24-hour mountain bike race. I used to do a lot of mountain biking in Colorado. Did a 24-hour mountain bike race in Leadville, Colorado, which started at an elevation of about 10,500 feet, and then the trail went up to 12,000, a little over 200, 300 feet. Was a 17-mile loop, and raced that solo for 24 hours. I got 100, I forget exactly, 130 some odd miles on that in a 24-hour period. We'll show you a picture of that. I was pretty exhausted by the end of that as well. So why do I tell you this? Because I want to let you know that I've been there, done that when it comes to the fact that we all deal with injuries, we all have things that affect us physically, and that God has given us the mindset and the option to be able to push through a lot of that. I'm not saying that there aren't some physical issues and or disabilities that will limit what you can do, but what I am saying is that you are and need to be accountable to your own body. It's something that God's given you the willpower to either improve and continue to make better, or He's given you the option of being lazy and letting it go. And I really want to make sure that as men who grow older, we understand that our ability to be physically fit is not only to help us live a stronger life on this earth, which if you think about it, allows us to impact more people and more men as we grow older and hopefully bring them to the Lord and show and share our faith with them. Obviously the sooner that you're called home to the Lord, the less that you can accomplish here for His grace and for His presence. So I just want to, really emphasize the fact that a lot of times it's our mind and it's our human mind that is limiting us in our ability to move forward in a physical nature. We give in to the cravings of the food when we know we shouldn't. Why? Because it's easy. I've had some people tell me before, oh, you've always been fit. You don't know what it's like to be overweight and to have to deal with that. And you're right, I don't. But at the same time, I will challenge you that it's harder to stay physically fit your whole life than it is to let yourself go and then have to struggle back from that. Each side of that coin has its own unique struggles that you have to deal with. So, I want to stress that being physical fit is something that's capable within you. And like I said, for anybody that has specific issues that could limit them, there's always ways to work around that. So we're going to go through some video series. Hopefully I'm going to bring some value to this, obviously, and help you guys out. Some of the things that I would like to talk about are going to be body fat, calories, macros, how many calories your body needs just to be sustained, how many calories your body needs to lose weight, how many calories your body needs to gain weight. What that macro distribution should look like from a protein, carb, and fat. And then even just some functional stuff around, how do we take our body fat? It's fairly simple to do, and it is a required number when calculating the number of calories that you need on a daily basis. So we'll go through, how to do things like that, how to look at your calories, how to look at your macros. Like Cody said, we can get into some exercise specific things around, what do you want to do if you want to build mass? What are other things that you need to be aware of and look at? As he mentioned as well, what's in your gym bag? How to use pre-workout, how to use post-workout, what to take intra-workout, things like that. So I really hope that you guys will enjoy these video series, and I really look forward to seeing feedback on them so that we can help drive content that is going to be what you guys are really looking for, and helping you grow as physically stable men who have a future on this earth and can, really drive the Lord's word and bring more men to the Soulcon ministry. I want to close with a couple things. One of them is a verse from 1 Corinthians 6. I'm sorry, 1 Corinthians 6, 19 through 20. I apologize. I am looking at my notes because I have not memorized this. Not gone through Warrior Elite yet, so this will be one of the verses for me that I feel is necessary to memorize when I get to that point. But, God said, "Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies." So, I think he's really talking to us at that point, saying it is something that he requires of us. Another one is from Socrates, who I think is a very smart man, obviously, who said, "No man has the right to be an amateur in physical fitness, and it is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is truly capable of." So I'm going to leave you at that, gentlemen, and like I said, give us a thumbs up on the video and let us know your comments down below so that we can really drive some of this content towards what you're looking for. But I do look forward to bringing you a lot of information and hopefully helping you on your journey. Thank you very much. Bye.